Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your March 2018 overview reading. This reading is good for you if you are a sun, moon, or rising Capricorn. And I do have a different spread for everybody today, so I hope that you enjoy the monthlies in this format. Let me know what you think about them in the comments section. And let's see, if you are interested, I do have a giveaway going for a free tarot spread that gets emailed to you by me. And so that is going to take place on Instagram, and I will give all the details at the very end, as well as a few business things that I wanted to mention for people who work with me as well, or if you're interested in working with me, those will be relevant for you. Okay, so I will, when we get to this part after I pull the oracle cards, I will go ahead and explain this reading. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with a couple oracle cards for Capricorn in March. First, we have self-care. All right, so make sure that you are being mindful around what you let into your space. Be mindful of the people that you let into your life. Be mindful of the foods that you let into your body. Self-care is not this thing where it's just limited to pampering. It's a much broader concept than that. And so this is reflecting for you to define self-care for yourself. It doesn't just have to be Instagrammable, okay? And now we also have magical, so make sure that you are taking time to manifest actively. So this is all about, it's more than visualization. I know that a lot of people think that manifestation just means visualization, but it can be meditation, it can be journaling, it can be praying, it can be doing rituals, it can be having a vision board. There's a lot more to manifestation than just, think about it and it's going to come into reality. That's definitely not all there is. So this is about exploring the different styles of manifestation. That's going to be worthwhile this month. And the central energy for you is the Three of Swords. Okay, so release, recovery, changing the way that you have been processing some form of heartbreak, grief, whatever it is that you're mourning at this time is going to give you some type of revelation. So this is when you're coming out of a period of distress. I like to see the Three of Swords. Personally, when I interpret this card, it shows up more as after the peak. So this isn't impending doom. It's the period of time after, like that recovery period, the release, the realization that things are falling into place as they should, despite the pain that you're experiencing. Okay, so it's that purging energy that the Three of Swords allows you to move forward into the next stage of your life. Okay, now this is your earth body, so this is more of the physical. For Capricorn in March, we have Knight of Acorns. Now, I will say, I forget, I got a comment last month where someone was frustrated that the same message kept coming up in multiple videos, but here is why. We have, in the Northern Hemisphere, you have the spring equinox is happening. And so it's not surprising that I'm doing collective readings. I'm not doing individual readings. And we have this surge of energy that's being infused into all these readings, because when things begin to get warmer, or when things have the final rush, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you have the final push before the end of the year. We have this reiteration of this surge of energy happening in sign after sign after sign after sign. So this is not unique to Capricorn, but the one thing that I want to remind everybody is that this equinox is going to be big, because the physical experience of the equinox, no matter which hemisphere you're in, is going to be more profound than usual. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this card, or the wands in general, or the acorns in this deck, but the wands, the fire, has been coming up over and over and over and over, especially in this position. I think water signs are the only ones who are not getting that, but this is, if this is not the first video that you're watching, you're going to see this theme pop up in other signs as well. Okay, so this is just about the picking up the pace, the surge of energy, getting things done, making things happen. Like, that is building for everyone on a collective level. Okay. Now, this is your higher self, your spiritual self, the part of you that dreams, the part of you that connects with other spirits. And we have 9 of acorns. So again, there's more power, more fire coming through. And this is, you know what? Let me clarify this first. And then I'll also clarify the other card I pulled for you. 5 of Swords. Okay, so there's a certain level of navigation. So if you've been struggling with anything on a spiritual level, this is where you're really going to have to push yourself and test your belief system. And I see this as being an expansive experience for Capricorn, but it's also really pushing your boundaries and persevering through things that might not feel comfortable for you. Okay, because the 5 of Swords isn't a comfortable card, but it requires a lot of problem solving and communication. And so you are persevering through that, and you do gain a lot of spiritual power from this experience, especially if it's coming from this 3 of Swords, the grief energy that's showing up. Okay, we also have, I'm going to clarify the Knight of Acorns, what's going on in the physical. We have the 2 of Cups. Okay, so this is, you're going to see, this looks like Capricorn being more social. Like the way that your energy is picking up is wanting to connect with other people, not necessarily romantic. You know, this can signify romance, but that's, you know, that's not going to be true for everyone. So this is more about getting out of your comfort zone when it comes to socialization. And if you feel like, oh, I'd really like to go see so-and-so, or I'd like to go to this event, it's a wise idea to take all of that seriously and just really engage in that, because it's going to teach you a lot, and it's going to be really therapeutic and healing for whatever you have going on here with the 3 of Swords. Now, this is your emotional body, what's going on for you on an emotional level. 5 of Feathers, strategy, resilience. Again, we have the theme of perseverance coming up in your spiritual and emotional body, and that's all coming from the 3 of Swords as well. So this is, we have 5 of Swords, 5 of Swords, and 3 of Swords coming up. Let me clarify this. I want more context here. What is coming up there? 10 of Swords. Okay, so this is, the message that I'm getting is really watch your communication this month. Really, really, really watch that. Especially because you are having, like, the 3 of Swords isn't an easy card to deal with. Neither is the 10 of Swords. It can be, and so we have the Saturn symbol showing up right there, and that's saying if you are screwing around, if you are not taking care of business, then there is discipline that's associated with that. If you're allowing the entire emotional body to sit in the driver's seat without incorporating higher self, without using tools, without moving your body, then it's saying you are going to get hit really hard in terms of the emotional state that you're in. So this is about full integration this month. I see this as Capricorn, because you do have a deeply emotional and sensitive month in March. This is something where this is pushing you to exercise all of the other resources and tools that you have in order to best get through this period. I'm not saying this is being catastrophic. It just looks intense. So the 10 of Swords is also about release. Release in the emotional body, release of expectations, release of all of the old baggage that has been pent up. So we're constantly in a state of healing and evolution. And this is saying that you are persevering through it, but it is challenging. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not easy. And it's something that you can get support for. You do have resources at your disposal. And that is what, you know, up here at the top in your higher self, you have power, you have strength, you have the ability to move forward. Make sure you're taking care of your earth body. Make sure you're practicing as much self-care as possible. Make sure you're on top of it. If you're not already working with a practitioner that you enjoy, now is the time to get one. If you don't have a big friend circle, push your boundaries, push yourself outside of your comfort zone with what you've done in the past. This is the time to do things differently so that you can start gathering more tools if you don't already have them. So you're either gathering or you're exercising the tools that you have. Now, this is the shadow self. This is the part of you, I like to compare this to the id in layman terms, but this is the part of you that's impulsive, that's indulgent, and you know, like the shadow self, the part of you that's damaged. The Emperor. Okay, so it looks like this is actually getting a breather. The shadow work isn't going to be what hits the hardest. I think it's the emotional component, this emotional spiritual that you're going through is going to be where you're seeing the most growth happen. And the shadow self is actually kind of getting a break because you're doing so much work in other areas. So this looks like it's much easier in March. Okay, and then we also have Four of Pentacles. So this just looks like it's asleep. It looks like your shadow self is asleep. It's dormant. It's underground. You know, that's why we have the potato representing this and the moon. It doesn't look like it's active, because you can even see in this card, it doesn't look like the cat is in motion. It's just standing watching. So it looks like you're getting a break from shadow work, which you definitely need. Okay, so that is all that I have for the base reading. Now I'm going to move into the timelines. We have first, second, third, and fourth quarter if you're new to my channel. And this is for your growth period. So first we have the masculine. Okay, so this is your internal power. This is like your motor, getting things done. And it looks like you're really having to exercise that in the first quarter of March. Okay, so that is something that is really going to support you over the next month. Like if you get started on this, this is also the yang that we're shifting into if you're in the northern hemisphere. So the fire, the power, getting things done, making things happen, that's all you being able to exercise your divine masculinity. We have both archetypes within us, so it looks like you're stepping more into that. Second quarter, we have standstill. Be patient with yourself. This is when it's like you have that surge of energy at the beginning of March, and then it all calms down in a way that this isn't bad. It's just saying ramp up the self-care, do things that are right for you, make sure that you are using your tools, especially during the second quarter, because if you hit a speed bump, then it's time to exercise those. It's time to take a step back and just be still. Third quarter, we have mentor. See, we have you taking care of yourself, and then it's like, uh-oh, I might need some external support too. So, you know, if there's a time when I would start, if you feel like you're dealing with something that you do need to work with someone on, whether it be on a physical, emotional, spiritual level, get the research done in the beginning, and then it's kind of like in the third quarter is when it's going to be a really great time to take the initiative and like actually make it happen. This could also be a good friend of yours. I do not see this as being you in a mentorship position. This is you seeking out mentorship. So that is a very clear distinction that's coming up, because it does look like you're in a position where support is good for you. Okay, and then wrapping up the month, we have conflict between the head and the heart. You know, it's not a shock that there's some symbolism showing up. It's pretty literal. Okay, I'm going to pull a clarifier on the conflict piece. With another deck, let's see, what is the conflict about? Wheel of Fortune, unpredictability, ups and downs, and so it's just kind of like, ugh, I'm getting motion sickness from all of this change and all of this shifting. That's what I am reading this as being, is just something where it's having to flip-flop between the head and the heart, the head and the heart, the head and the heart, over and over and over again. Now I'm going to pull some partnership cards. This is for you if you are partnered. And I'll pull another one for if you're single. And it doesn't matter if you're even interested in dating. It's just for whether you are coupled or not. So this one if you're not. Okay. So for those of you who are coupled, we have the King of Wands. All right. This is, you know, it could be reference to an air sign, but a fire sign. But it's also about owning your own personal fire in situations. It's kind of like, you know, you have this energy, so it's okay to communicate that, but watch the aggression. This is telling me, you know, especially, I don't know depending on where your Mercury is, watch how forceful you come across, because it is a lesson in how you communicate and how you deal with the emotional body. It's not about stuffing it, it's about communication, and that is showing up in your relationship, in your partnership. So this is either in reference to your partner being supportive of you, or this is something where you are it's referring to your personal fire. If you are not in relationship, we have Temperance. Balance, this is you taking care of yourself. So it's like, if you're dating, great. If not, that's cool too. It's all about you being mindful of what you're giving and to whom. Okay, let me see. I'm going to do a 3-card pick. But the deck that I was using for the other signs is not up here with me, so I have another deck for you. This one might actually be better for Capricorns, but we'll see. So if you guys know already, the 3-card picks, it really doesn't matter if you pick before or after I flip them over. It's personal preference. Everyone has their own way of doing it, whether you ask a question or you just want additional guidance. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so card number 1. Oh, and these are the Witchling cards, so they're a little bit different. But we have relaxation, another reference to self-care. Okay, make sure that you're finding a space to do this in, because it looks like if you're looking for a remedy, this is showing you the solution. The solution is to sink into self-care and to sink into relaxation. Card number 2, we have wisdom. Okay, so it looks like you're able to see beyond the personal circumstances that you're in. And this is memory of overcoming. That's where the wisdom is coming from. Like, oh yes, I remember when this happened. I can see when this happened before. I can see how I can overcome these things, etc., etc. So it's just about remember the times when you were resilient. Remember the times when you persevered. And card number 3, we have wellness, okay? Lots and lots of self-care for Capricorn. All right, so this is, oh, I should show you the caption. This is pretty straightforward. Okay, and it's going to help with your energy levels if you really dial in your nutrition, your movement. Do what you can and do what feels good. not everyone's body responds the same way to things. Not everyone likes the same kind of exercise or the same kind of food, or, we are all different. We all react differently. So this is about finding your right concoction for what works for you and what's in affinity with your body. Okay, so now more of the logistical stuff. As always, if you're looking to work with me, all of the links are in the description box. One-on-one sessions, custom tarot spreads, and single questions are all down there. Single questions are going to get increased to $13 as of March 14th. So if you still want to get them for $10, do that now. So the price will officially be increasing March 13th at 11:59 Pacific time. Like, that is the cutoff if you want to submit it. So that's the firm line. As of March 14th Pacific time, that is going to bump up to 13. So all of that is in the description box. And then if you're interested in the giveaway that I have going, all of the instructions are on Instagram on how you can enter, but you just follow me on Instagram, tag a friend in the post that's there that says giveaway, and then the winner will be drawn on March 14th. You get to pick a custom tarot spread if you win. I'm giving away, because it comes with an audio portion, photos, all of that good stuff. So that is what I have going on for the giveaway. And let's see, don't forget to sign up for my newsletter if you're interested in more content, more readings, and a solar year reading at the end of your birthday month. And if you have any more questions, drop them in the comments section, and all of the decks that I've used today are listed in the description box. So if you have questions, it's probably in the description box. Okay, thank you all so much. I absolutely appreciate you, Capricorn, and have a happy March. Bye-bye.